Hey everybody, tomorrow we're going to be going up by Brian Claremont, and we're actually going to have to bust up the landing on the Menominee River, and we're going to do a little brown trout fishing. We're going to be taking the airboat out, and you know, we've been using the airboat more and more. We just got this about going on 2 years now. But something you got to think about when you're taking an airboat out somewhere, typically you are in an area that the only way to get there is by another airboat or of course a helicopter. So I like to go through every precaution that I possibly can. So really being prepared is the big thing. So I just want to kind of show you guys, go through it real quick. I've got 2 batteries in this boat right now, and that's the way it's set up. So what happens is I'll run 1 battery, and then what happens is if something was to drain that battery down, let's say I left electronics on, or one of the lights got left on and we're fishing, or the battery just got bad, I switch it over to the other battery, so I got 2 batteries. But here's the deal, I also always carry either a jumper pack or another battery. You just do not want to, if something happens, I want to make sure I can get this thing started for sure. An airboat is like anything else. You gotta have life jackets. So typically what I do is I carry 6 life jackets. You gotta have a fire extinguisher. I've got flares up there. I've got antifreeze up there. In this box right here, I've got a spare coil. I mean, these are just like simple things that I know I can fix myself. So I got a spare coil. I carry a spare cap, distributor cap, all the time, brand new one. And I've had the caps crack on me now twice. Just you're going across a lot of rough conditions, things just happen, a lot of moisture gets in there, and got a spare rotor right here, so that's right there. This is kind of like your condenser, so you want to make sure you got anything that's got to do with electrical. I basically got that covered right there. Throw cushions right here, got 2 throw cushions. I've got a kill switch, got electronics right here, GPS, and the other part is lots of lights. As you can see, I've got navigational lights here, headset for everybody that wants to wear a headset. And here's another, lots of lights. I'm lighting up everything. I'm lighting up the sides, I'm lighting up the top, you know, because most of the time we're coming in the dark or going out in the dark. So again, the more lighting, the better. I got 2 nebulouses. If something happens, just happened to like crack the hull, the boat fills up with water. I've got bilge pumps in here too. But if something happens, I want to make sure that I can stay on top. So having 2 nebulas is very important. Hey, I'll tell you what, you know, it's a great toy to have, but it's really, for me, it's a big tool for sure. So, hey, everybody, hope you guys appreciate our little segment here on the airboat. I'm going to fire her up just to make sure she starts up, and we're going to head up and see our good friend Brian Claremont, hopefully catch some big browns. So hang on to your hiney. Woo! Rock and roll today. Little bit of brown trout fishing with the airboat with our good friend Brian Claremont. As you can see, look at all the giant fish he's got in his living room here. A lot of big walleye, some big brown trout. What else has he got in here? Man, he's got a little variety of everything. Big muskellunge right there. Hey, I'll tell you what. We have never done a casting show for trout with Brian, and this morning is going to be the first time, and we are going to go break a bunch of ice and be the first ones really to be able to launch a boat on the Menominee River today, so I'm pretty excited about that. What do you say, Mr. Claremont?
Hey, open water, let's get her done.
Look at that. You look like a natural up there. Okay, Brian, I'll tell you what, you get to sit up on top this morning, all right? You know, it's actually a pretty decent day, but we got a lot of rain coming in, so I am definitely preparing myself for some nasty weather. but I'm loving it because it's spring, rain we need this year more than ever. Bring these water levels up. You know, you look at rest of the river, Brian, she's froze like a rock, you know? So it's gonna take quite a bit to open this up.
Get some rain, get some flow going, get some walleyes fighting here.
All right, let's see, let's fire up.
First, browns.
Browns.
Browns first. I'm on open water this year.
So where do you want to go first?
Well, let's go up and we'll drift down and then we'll work on this. But we
Okay.
can do a couple drifts first.
Yep. So we're going to go up a ways and make a couple of drifts right away. And then what we're going to do is we're going to anchor up and then just keep pitching spoons. This spot for 15 minutes, nothing. Pick up, watch my rod. Pick up the anchor, go down a little ways. With gas, you know, $5 a gallon.
Yeah.
You know, guys gotta come to something. You know, guys know what's going on. Thank you. Woohoo! Hey, Brian. All right, man. I'm loving it. You know what? We've been fishing for about 4 hours. Had to go back to the truck because everybody was soaked. And came back out. We got the airboat out today, everybody. Hey, you know what? Fishing's been tough. I mean, and that's the thing about filming too. And Hunter, the camera guy, is sick. So, I mean, a lot of variables when you're filming a new show every week. Let me get this out of the way. Get the rain in there. What are you thinking? Let's tell everybody what you're doing, Brian.
Just pitching some crankbaits for these browns. Usually do good at the beginning of the year every year, but this is the first time out today. We decided to do a little casting, and it's been tough. But persistent pays off, and here we go.
Yeah. You know what? I remember a few years ago trolling with you out here, and the same thing. We fished for about 5 hours, never had a fish. Then all of a sudden, things just lit right up. That's a nice fish. Holy. That's a big son of a buck.
Good in the smoker.
Holy man. Woo, that is a nice fish, man. Look at that one. I'm loving it. You know what? We got the airboat out today. We broke the landing open for everybody. And wow. And hold that baby up. Get some good.
That's my first fish of the 2022 season here.
Wow.
And I got to catch it with Mr. Smith.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, we're always looking for some different experience, and I'll tell you, we decided to come out and break open the landing with the airboat because that's the only way you could get out here. Now, these guys slid their boat over the ice right there and got out, but you know, it's always about that adventure, and that's what fishing's about for sure, and working hard at it. And boy, I'll tell you, today is one of them days that we have been on the grind for sure.
Wet.
Nice job, buddy.
Cold.
You guys went home. I sat in the truck waiting for you guys, and you guys went and got all new gear. And hey, you know what? You guys, if you were wearing the Eskimo gear, you wouldn't have had that problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick me up an Eskimo suit, I think.
Nice job on that one.
That's a good one. That one's for the smoker.
Right,
That's
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Let's get another one, eh?
Fish, I got a good one. Oh, I slowed it way down. That's what I did. Oh, I slowed it way down.
Hey, you guys, I'll tell you what. I'm using these spoons by Moonshine Lures, and I'll tell you what, I just slowed it down. Brian just caught it. You know, this is the deal, is that you never give up, ever. And I'll tell you, we've been out here for 5 hours, and we haven't had a bite. And all of a sudden, Brian just caught that one, and I just started throwing that spoon. It went to a different color, but I slowed it way down. Man, I'm loving this. This is awesome, man. I love it when things come together after busting your butt. You guys were absolutely frozen for it. Look at this fish right here. Look at the size of this one. Oh, is that a nice brown? Holy cats, I'll tell you what. Woo-hoo, I'm loving it. You know what?
You guys got to check out these spoons by Moonshine. These are absolutely awesome, awesome spoons. Man, that fish just absolutely smoked it. Get him, dude. Get him.
Hold up a little more.
Get him. Woo! I'm loving it, you know? Again, like I was saying just 5 minutes ago, look at it. Got two beautiful browns on there. I'm going to let mine go for sure. But I'll tell you what an awesome way to come out. And again, you know, we've done this show before with Brian, casting for these browns, or trolling, I should say, for these browns. But I said, let's do a casting show. And Brian's like, hey, if you bring your airboat, you guys will be able to get out here. And we'll be able to get out here. We broke up the landing. Took us about a half hour. Got the airboat out. Got enough room to fish. And you know what, now it's game on. So what we're doing is we're basically working the edge of these current seams, and we're up on a flat right here, and we're casting out to this deeper water. And I can't even tell you how many casts, but I think honestly, obviously the fish are on now, but what happened now is I slowed that bait way down. Just, you know, I was reeling too fast before. And then that's the big thing too, because you said you were just ticking the bottom with your crank, right? Yep. So I slowed it way down, just absolutely smashed that spoon. And that's the big thing right here. So basically what I'm using a 7.2 medium action Mags rod.
Love the Mags rod.
They are awesome. But you know, the key is too, is that I'm casting with a super braid. I got 10-pound test super braid, and I've got about a 2-foot leader of fluorocarbon 10-pound on that one. Boy, that's a nice fish.
Got it. You want to let that go?
I'm letting that baby go.
Put it in the
no
smoker.
way. It's my fish. I'm letting him go.
All right, this one's going back.
All right. Hey, I'll tell you what, that spoon right here, this is by Moonshine Lures. It's called a mainliner. And I'll tell you what, it's got a very unique action to it. I'm going to let this guy go here. There he goes. See ya, girl. You know what? Again, you know, like I was saying before, it is absolutely nasty. But, you know, that's the thing, too, about filming a new show every week. You never know what Mother Nature is really going to throw at you. But I'll tell you, 5 hours without a bite, that was grueling. And I said to Hunter and to Brian, they're like, hey, what do you want to do? I said, we're going to give it till 3 o'clock. If we don't get a bite, we'll leave. 5 minutes later, Brian caught that one. 5 minutes after that, I just caught that one. No. So let's get some more, you know, again, never give up.
Boy, I'll tell you what, today was definitely a true test of great clothing. I know that you're looking at my Eskimo suit and you're thinking, yep, that's just for ice fishing. You are 100% wrong. You know what? Hunter and Brian both had to go back in because they weren't wearing the same clothing that I was wearing. So you guys, I would stake my reputation on great clothing. You want to definitely check out the Eskimo clothing. And it doesn't matter if you're wearing it all spring, all winter, or all fall. It is great gear. So check out Eskimo clothing.
You just had a big walleye right at the side of the boat right there. Made a couple more casts. And all of a sudden, now it looks like you got a trout on. Yeah. It is amazing, again, you know, spending the whole morning here. We got out at about 7:30, and fished till about 11. Then these guys went back in and dried all their clothes back off. And now, you know, game on. Fishing, I mean, it's just amazing how fishing is. And then when you look at the windows that open up, and no doubt there's definitely a window that opened up in the last half hour to 45 minutes. Oh, that looks like a good trout. Let me put down it.
Another nice one for the smoker.
You and that smoker, god darn it.
Hey, you like that smoked fish too.
I do, but I also like to let them go.
I like to let them go too, but... Nice job. Woo. There you go. Boy, he's got hooks all over. There you go, buddy. Woohoo! Right. Game on. Save your crankbait. There you go. Check that out, man. All right, I'm loving it now. And it stopped raining for about, what, 2 minutes now, right? Hey, Brian, let's talk a little bit about, now you're gonna keep that fish and put it in the smoker. Let's talk a little bit about what we're doing. We got a lot of things going on today. We got a lot of bad weather. It's cold, it's windy. Camera guy's sick. You guys got soaked before. You're soaked again. But you know what?
persistence really pays off.
It does, and you know, it's the first time for me for open water this year, and it's always a good time fishing with you. Of course,
I would
but,
agree with you, my friend,
you know,
on
these
that.
browns they're fun to catch.
So what's the key to catching them? Let's tell everybody what the key is to catching them in this river.
Persistence.
Well, that's one thing, but what we're working is the edge of these current seams, you know? So basically we're on the edge of we're sitting in the shallow water, we're casting out and bringing it back in. You just had a big walleye. You said something, I turned and I saw it, you saw it.
Yep.
A big walleye, take a swipe at it. I'm casting spoons, you're casting crankbaits, but it's a very slow retrieve.
Very slow. Water's cold, the fish are real active, so you just gotta slow it down and little
Pull that
jerks.
fish up a
And,
little bit, yep.
but these are great for the smoker. That's the best thing you do with browns is in the smoker. You've had my smoke fish
Right.
before.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to have some fresh stuff.
Hey, I'll tell you again, it's basically we're really winding slow and just barely moving that bait, and it's just clicking the bottom. You know what, if you start clicking the bottom, then you wind a little bit faster.
Yep, just to get it up off the bottom so you're not banging the bottom, because of course the fish are all looking up. So
Good job. All right,
Okay.
man. Back
let's
at
get
it.
another one.
Built for fishermen, built by fishermen. Really, that says it all.
It's the family here. It's not a big conglomerate, it's a family.
They treat you feel like you're in a family, you know.
When you put those two together, an amazing product and amazing people, it's just the type of company you want to be involved with.
Not only because of just the great boats, but because of the camaraderie that the Warrior family has.
The customer service is amazing. They never leave you hanging.
So come join the Warrior family.
There we go. Here's the walleye.
Where's the net?
Right here.
Holy man. Not a walleye. Ooh, that's a decent fish too. On the crank again. Woo-hoo.
All right.
Nice job, hold that one up. Again, he's just barely twitching that bait. It's just barely moving it. Man, when you gotta explain to it, they don't care about you putting them in your freezer, in your smoker.
All right, I'll
because they're
explain.
not getting any.
I'll explain exactly what I'm doing.
Right. Let's,
All right.
let's
okay.
tell everybody. That's why people watch fishing shows.
All right.
Is they watch fishing shows because they want to learn how to catch more
Okay.
fish. That's why I watch a
All
fishing
right.
show.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. This is what I'm doing here. I got Power Pro line,
Okay.
yellow so I can see it, and I got a barrel swivel, and I got some 20-pound fluorocarbon with a clip. And what I'm doing is I'm just slow rolling that because the water's really cold, and every now and then I'll give it a little twitch.
Right, just kind of mix it up a little bit.
Yep, mix
right.
it up a little
Different
bit.
action. Don't do just a straight wind all the time. Doesn't matter if you're using a spoon, you're using a crankbait. When you vary your action, your cadence, that's what makes the difference right there. And that's usually when they hit it. When you're winding and all of a sudden you give it that little twitch, it's usually as soon as that twitch, you're done giving it that twitch, is when they pound it.
Well, you're getting a reaction out of them, I think. When that bait comes up to them like that and it goes like that and speeds up, you get a reaction strike on them.
Right. Nice fish right there.
Nice little walleye.
And right now, on the river here, or anywhere on the bay right here, it's one fish over 15
Yep,
inches.
one
Unless
fish,
you're
yep.
in De Pere, then it's one fish over 28 inches.
And I'm letting walleyes go today.
That, you're letting
I
them
want
go?
browns for the smokers. Yep,
Okay, you
yep,
got
yep.
it on that one.
We're not fishing for walleyes today, we're fishing for browns, so we're gonna let this little, it's a female too, you can see nice fat cut, so we'll let this one go.
Lucky day for her.
Ready? There you go. We'll see you, baby. Thank you.
Hey, this week's tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet. You know what? It doesn't matter if you're casting for walleyes, you're casting for brown trout, you're casting for pike. One of the biggest things that I feel that makes a huge difference is when you do make a cast is to vary your speeds and put a little bit of a different action to the bait. So instead of just keep winding that bait, give it a little twitch here or there. Sometimes maybe just a slight pause. Sometimes maybe even speed that bait up a little bit, but change the action of the bait. And it doesn't matter if it's a spoon or if it's a spinner or if it's a crankbait, but just changing that bait makes a huge difference as far as getting these fish to trigger. Hey, this week's tip of the week, again brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet. Hey everybody, it's our Leroy lunchtime, and no doubt it was time to get out of the rain, and Brian was nice enough to let us come into his garage and do a little cooking in here. Hey, one of my favorite products, and they have so many of them at Leroy's, is the prime rib burgers. And when you guys are really looking for a great meal, you want to definitely stop there and pick these up. We're going to throw these on the grill here and dry off and have ourselves a great lunch.
Wow, I'll tell you, today was one of them days, no doubt. The weather was absolutely miserable, and we had a camera guy that was as sick as it gets. I mean, you actually could say he was under the weather. And then, of course, we had Mr. Claremont that was, a little bit weathered there. Hey, you know what? We still had fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. Make sure that we've got some very important things coming up on April 11th. The Conservation of Congress Board has a virtual spring hearing, and this is something you guys definitely want to get involved with. There is a lot of things going on in this state where they're trying to take away a lot of our rights when it comes to fishing and hunting and trapping, and we need to preserve these things and protect them because we know how important they are to our everyday life. Hey, we want to thank this week all of our men and women that served in the armed forces for the great service that they give this country, because if it wasn't for them, we would not have the rights to hunt and fish and to trap. We also want to thank all of the paramedics, firefighters, and all of our law enforcement agents for the great service that they give us too. Hey, you know what? We are still living in the greatest country in the world as of today, and no doubt it is a great day to be alive. And the best part is we're going to see you guys again next week. And thanks for joining us.
It was definitely... Hey everybody, it is Leroy. Hey everybody, it's
David. I don't even know what I want to say. And all of our fighters. I think we need lunch.
Stop it.
Yep, let's have lunch.